This is a reading from my book, I Woke Up in Paradise, entitled Ask the Universe. I got into the habit of going for a walk Sunday mornings. It was a time that I could easily get away without the girls, especially if I left while they were all still asleep. I would go into a Starbucks that was in Chapters in the mall. This was when Starbucks and Chapters were owned by the same group, and you could grab books and read them in the coffee shop. I started to randomly pick up books from all over the store and sit down with 6 or 7 books and just page through them. I was attracted to many of the self-help and spiritual topics and loved to read through sections of these books. I had also noticed that I came away with an elated feeling of goodwill and happiness. I would later learn that Starbucks was spiking their coffee with caffeine, which may have explained the elation. One of the books that I was reading explained that if you had a question that you could not answer, you should ask the universe. It said that the universe would answer your question, but it was important to ask. So one very cold day in December, I was walking home from the mall, and I waited until I was in a fairly secluded place. I looked around to ensure that no one could see me, and I looked up into the sky and asked aloud, should I leave Bob? I felt silly doing this, but I was torn. There were many reasons to leave and many reasons to stay. I did not want to make a decision that had an impact on 5 other people for the wrong reasons, especially if they were selfish reasons. Trite statements like, I was unhappy, would not cut it through the long and painful transition that would ensue when I ripped my family apart. The very next day, there was a major snowstorm. This meant the girls had a snow day. All of the school buses are canceled when this happens because it is not worth the risk of having a busload of school children involved in a crash or stuck in the snowbank. My girls walked to school, but I never made them go on snow days because nothing would be taught anyhow, and the school would be reduced to a babysitting function. Also, Bob was supposed to drive through the snow belt to give a talk. The highway was closed between our home and his destination, so he was forced to stay home. With found time on our hands, we decided to go out and eat in a restaurant. We went to Eastside Mario's. It is a chain restaurant that specializes in Italian food, and the girls could find a lot of things on the menu that they enjoyed. As luck would have it, there was a coloring contest. The girls were each given a piece of paper to color. The prize was an oversized stocking stuffed with treats, toys, and candies. The girls were inspired and very content. As I sat at one end of 2 tables that had been moved together and Bob sat at the other, a feeling of peace drifted over me. This was it. My question was answered. This is how it's supposed to be. All of the girls were content. We were having a lovely family meal, and Bob was not even reading. It seemed remarkable to me that all of this had transpired. I'd actually gotten an answer. This is worth preserving. As we left the restaurant, I thought I saw something flying down the road, and then I was sure of it. It was a $50 bill. I suddenly realized that it was not alone and demanded that Bob pull over. In the next few minutes, I found over $500 flying down the street. Apparently, someone had lost all of their Christmas shopping money in their wallet and had dropped the wallet, and all of the contents were being distributed down the street by a fierce wind. My true answer, yes, a definitive yes. A woman that was one of my spiritual advisors at the time actually deciphered the actual meaning. Her translation of this story turned out to be more accurate. If you stay, there will be more money. Or rather, money will come to you. Either way, the universe had answered my question. I should stay with Bob, at least for now.